Okay, everyone, Jeff Gamboa here. Wanted to say welcome. We are kicking off our official interview process for this year's class and acceptance for the Leadership Academy. And we're really excited for those of you that are watching. I first of all want to wish all of you good luck. And if you're watching this video, that means you're officially within our interview protocol and you have an opportunity to earn a spot within the Leadership Academy. So again, formal good luck to all of you. So let's dive right in. First of all, I want to say congratulations on being here. What you've done to this point, whether it's from a CPO standpoint coupled with attendance to event standpoint, previous and current push performance standpoint, coupled with what your manager has really said and advocated for in regards to you and your reputation and what you bring to the table. You're here because of all those things combined. And I think that's just something to say. It's worth noting that it's a big deal for you to be here. So congratulations on making it to this point, again, officially entering our protocol for Leadership Academy interview process. And I want to really start off by clarifying the whole process. So as you watch this interview, this video portion is designed to help explain Leadership Academy, to explain how it works and give more details, to explain how and why we have a Leadership Academy. And then most importantly, this video is meant to give you details on what exactly that I will be looking for in order for you to earn a spot in this year's class. And it'll send you into action. That will be coupled by our second portion and more formal part of the interview process, which is a one-on-one interview where there will be a minimum requirement that your manager will explain later. There'll be a minimum CPO career sales requirement to get the one-on-one with me. And so think of this video as the information and really explaining. So you're gonna wanna take great notes. You are also gonna want to be able to regurgitate and recommunicate a lot of the information here on the one-on-one interview. So I will be referencing, so I encourage you to take a lot of great notes, really process, feel free to watch this a few times. And then on that one-on-one interview, it'll give me a better idea of the type of applicant that you are, a chance for me to get to know you better, a chance for me to ask questions and really dig in, to ask you why you'd be a great candidate, to help really make my overall decision as to whether we're gonna accept you for Leadership Academy. And if things go well, you would get an official acceptance at the end of the summer's Conference of Champions event. Okay, again, to be determined, your manager will give you the details. And for those of you that go through this process of watching the interview, you do get a one-on-one, and for some reason you don't earn a spot officially, whether it's by not hitting the minimum 10K requirement, dirty 30, or for some reason not getting accepted, you can feel free to reapply for late admission, which would be giving you a chance until the end of September to earn another opportunity to get into Leadership Academy. So let's dive right in. The objectives of today's video is really number one, to find the best of the best. And, throughout every summer, and this summer is no different, one of the primary objectives in my role is to find talent throughout the division. And during a very busy time, I specifically am looking for performers from this summer who will inevitably be our best candidates for the Leadership Academy, and who's currently having a solid summer or great summer or consistent summer. And most importantly, who's going to finish that strong through the weeks of August and into the fall semester, okay? The second reason that, a second objective, if you will, of this interview is really for me to continue along with the districts, our pilot sales manager, our branch manager, our Cutco sales professionals, really help build our championship Florida United team, our Florida Caribbean United team. And one of the things I take a lot of pride in, and as do all of our managers, is just the team that we're building and the type of team that we're continuing to create here at Florida United. For those of you that are new to the organization, Florida United and Florida Caribbean United are all the offices in the majority of South Florida and the islands of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And I say that because if you're watching the Zoom, you're from one of our offices, and we're really excited to have you on board, not just for now, not just for a potential Leadership Academy, but really for the future of where Florida United is going to be as a championship premier organization in the company. And you may have heard the four anchors of our division time and time again, but it's worth reiterating that regardless if you're on an office in Puerto Rico, if you're Spanish speaking, English speaking, West Coast, East Coast of Florida, or anywhere up and down the East Coast representing our team, is that you can count on all of our offices to really operate the same way. You can count on anyone in our organization being a true professional, focus on explosive team building, having high standards of sales performance, and of course, as is the case with this interview video today, Leadership Academy, aggressively pursuing growth. And I can tell you with all certainty, with confidence, with excitement, that if you're in our organization right now, our number one goal is to help develop you into a 5-star graduate, so that when you graduate from whatever your school tenure may be, or when you're ready to take on to, go into the real world, and maybe school may or may not be for you, that you are deemed by the real world, the marketplace, as a 5-star graduate, someone who is sought after by major companies, sought after by major med schools and business schools and law schools. And rather than hunting and looking for opportunities, our 5-star graduates are individuals whose opportunities are given to them, who they are being recruited by these great, people within their field of study. We're also proud to be the division that can hopefully create lots of light bulbs throughout your career with us, whether it's a light bulb on some tips on how to create more income with Cutco selling, or, as we're going to talk about today, light bulbs on how this opportunity can help you in the next couple of years, next couple of summers, so that whether you choose to stay with us past college or not, the time you're with us the next 2, 3, 4 years can really be beneficial as a springboard for your future. So diving right in, I want to talk about Leadership Academy, and first of all, what Leadership Academy is. And our Leadership Academy is our company's version of leadership and management development. And one of the things that I can say with all certainty also is that all major companies, all major institutions, all major organizations are always looking to develop their best people. They're always looking to develop leaders, and they're also looking to develop talent within their organization. It's called talent acquisition. Some examples to give you an idea, Harvard Business School has a Leadership Academy, which one would have to apply to get into. And it's designed to help people within the Harvard Business School develop skills specific to that major. Okay. But I can tell you with all my experiences that there's also so many opportunities to do Leadership Academy. Big companies like Amazon, Nike, McDonald's, Apple, all have a Leadership Academy. So what's the difference between ours? Well, I think ours is very unique. In fact, I would say one of a kind. Here's why. Vector Marketing is the largest college student recruiting company in all of North America. So what that means is we have a responsibility, and more importantly, an opportunity to develop, mentor, work with, and help support the future of America, because no other company works with more 17 to 25-year-old students than we do. They say Generation Y has a lot of perhaps negative connotations sometimes. But, as a company, our job, our mission is to support the opposite thought. And it's that the generation that we work with here in Vector Marketing is one of the most powerful generations. So Leadership Academy is designed to help students gain skills that they can't always get. It's designed to help students while they're with us develop, along with either a class curriculum or just continued growth in the next 3 to 4 years of these formidable years, these very, very important developmental years. They're able to graduate and in their early and maybe late 20s, go out into the real world and really see explosive success because of the skills that we teach them through Leadership Academy. It's meant to be a springboard. It's meant to augment, which means create a better opportunity for them when they graduate. So perhaps that might be a little bit clarity for you on why we have a Leadership Academy. One of the things that I can say in my experience of 2 decades with the company is that whether someone wants to be a great athlete, they know what camps to go to become the best athletes. If someone wants to be in politics, they know the best internships to get in Washington, D.C., or perhaps in another major city. But if someone in general just wants skills that can be applicable to all different majors, and it doesn't have to be specific to a career path, well, that's not as easy for people to find. Hence, we have Leadership Academy, Vector Marketing's version of supporting 17 to 25-year-olds. And why are we so adamant? Why is this such a big deal? Why is this interview process such a selective process? Well, Leadership Academy has a lot of motivating factors. Perhaps our motivator for Leadership Academy is that, and this article from USA Today will show this, that there are so many reasons for students now to be more concerned, focused, and intentional about developing skills while they're in college. Maybe it's because of the lower salaries that are being offered coming out of the job market. And this specific article I'm showing is even before pandemic and before anything going on. Maybe it's perhaps how long it takes for an average student to find a job. According to this, 8 months to find a job out of college. This is the USA Today. And the odds perhaps of people getting a job out of college directly related to their major is really on a much lower scale than people know. And that's one of the many reasons we're so excited to have a Leadership Academy. Another reason we're so motivated to really deliver a great Leadership Academy every single year is because we know that more and more students are needing entrepreneurial type skills to succeed and separate themselves. According to the Wall Street Journal, they're seeing Cutco specific skills, Cutco specific experiences to help students in the next 3 to 4 years to really develop what they need for their future. DECA, a national organization in the US specifically geared towards high school entrepreneurship and business skills, recognizes Cutco and Vector, their opportunities to work with students as such a big deal that, in fact, hence we were the company of the year for DECA in 2017. And again, another motivating factor for students to gain skills. That's why we have Leadership Academy. We have Leadership Academy because we know that regardless of what someone may or may not want to do in their future, all of those skills, all of those majors, all of the career paths require the opportunities and the ability, the need for the ability to sell. Even says here, you're going to have to sell in order to be successful, as this article from Incorporated Magazine states. And we just know that whether someone's a doctor selling patients on the prescribed treatment, whether it's a lawyer having to sell the judge or the jury, whether it's a business person looking to sell to raise funding for their companies, we just know that sales skills are so paramount for someone's success. Again, why we have Leadership Academy. We're really also motivated about Leadership Academy because we know, based on this interview from former alumni, Cutco Through College alumni John Vroman, and also best speaking collegiate speaker in the US, he had an article where he interviewed the founder and CEO of Priceline, major travel company. And one of the two things that Jeff Hoffman talks about for success is being able to, have problem solving skills, but then also partnering up. And one of the reasons we love Leadership Academy, why we have it, is because we want to create circles of influence for students in a time where they may not have the most positive, most supportive, or the most like-minded people around them. And one of the things we found is when you take like-minded, experience-hungry, goal-oriented, high work ethic showing students, results soar. And just like this slide says, our circle of influences are making sure that we pick the best 3 to 5 people to learn from, the best 3 to 5 people to be in the peer group, or the best 3 to 5 people to mentor and teach. Circle of influences can be the most important 9 to 15 people that a student, or already anyone in life, can make that decision on. And that's why we're so excited about Leadership Academy. As I show you pictures here, I think about all the different fun opportunities and exciting times that our Leadership Academy gets together. Sometimes it's on a social basis, but a lot of times we have our students getting together because it's just a great opportunity to learn with other people. You take a look at our management team and you just see example after example after example of like-minded, go-getting students who are here to support each other and are really looking towards the same thing. And here's an example of our leadership management team. These are students who have been accepted into Leadership Academy, but have excelled at the top 20 percentile and therefore are now running leadership management positions for their company, whether it's a Cutco sales professional position, a branch manager internship, or a full-time Cutco district manager. And that's, again, other reasons why we're so excited about Leadership Academy. And in wrapping this part up, I also want to tell you Leadership Academy is so important because now more than ever, and I mean now more than ever, specific to pandemic, to job market, to where we are in just society, is that now more than ever, the society is moving away from degrees, right, and ranking of school, and moving more towards quality of skills and personal growth and aptitude as the reasons why students will get great careers out of college. In fact, I would say get jobs, period, out of college. And whether it's an article here from USA Today, whether it's our Fast Company talking about skills over degree, maybe it's the Wall Street Journal, this newer article talking about the students that are going to create the most options are going to do it. Yep, again, as you see, through skills. Okay, article after article after article. And I think this article from 2015 really sums it up best. This is from the USA Today, specifically USA Today Money Magazine on May the 3rd, stating the 5 skills that college students need to get a job. And keep in mind, this was back in 2015 when the job market was much different for a student than it is now. And I would say much better. Number 1 is working with people, the ability to work with people, the ability to problem solve, oral communication skills, overall leadership skills, and then written communication skills. And I think when I think of the top 5 biggest, the most important premise of TLA, I think this picture alone sums it up. We're working with the most influential group in America, these 17 to 25-year-olds that become future doctors, lawyers, businesswomen, entrepreneurs, startup CEOs. And the bottom line is that to get these opportunities, students need skills. That's a big thing that we promote, skills. And in fact, I would say here, more life education, getting more involved in the community, more practical skills, and getting more energy. And when I think of Leadership Academy, and those of you that are excited to be a part of that team, these are the things that we focus on throughout the 8-month process. Okay. And so one of the things I want to transition to is once someone is in Leadership Academy, what does that look like? What are the things that we're teaching? What are the skills that our students are so excited to gain? Well, I think in a nutshell, it's the skills that you don't always learn in a classroom setting. It's the skills that sometimes are missed, but also at the same time so important in someone's career and future that aren't always available to a young person, young individual, and we're so excited to be teaching. So as far as TLA lessons, I think it can be summarized in really this slide. Our TLA lessons focus on personal growth, professional growth, and financial growth. The ability to have skills that transcend whatever the major is. Professional skills to be, to stand out in the workplace, and of course, financial skills, because that's something we find is very rarely taught in households, in schooling, and specific to people who have a non-business or non-financial major, they're missing this time and time again. When someone gets into Leadership Academy, our lessons really revolve around managing 5 things: time, money, energy, managing others, and then managing oneself. And some favorite lessons throughout TLA that are taught and tend to be the favorites of our Leadership Academy students when it comes to money: credit score, buying a home before 25, saving, budgeting, right? Creating retirement accounts. These are probably some of the top lessons. For time, advanced time management using executive style planners, long-term annual and biannual goals, 10-year plans, 5-year plans, business plans. For energy, it's health management, macronutrient management, creating energy in the morning, daily energy, weekly energy. For others, managing others, public speaking, motivating, developmental management, and then managing oneself, stress management, anxiety management, staying self-motivated. And again, those are just some of the themes and lessons that stand out and really are the most popular. And one of the things we love about Cut Through College is that moment where students who do Leadership Academy really do see themselves using our program to help them. And that program and that track we call Cut Through College. This is when a student, whether they know exactly the type of major and career they want, or they're the opposite and still trying to figure things out, or most of the time somewhere in between, they're going to use Cutco and our programs, specifically Leadership Academy, to make the income they want to make, to gain the skills they need to earn, to gain the skills they need to learn, and to develop the resume and experience that they need for the resume before they graduate and take the next step in their career. Okay. Now, for those of you that are interested, I highly encourage you check out changinglivespodcast.com. It's facilitated by one of our Vector region managers. And there was a discussion that Dan and I had on this podcast, really going a deep dive. It's a 27-minute deep dive into more details of students and why students choose to use Cutco as their stepping stone, why students love the Cutco Through College opportunity. So I highly encourage you to check that out. It's an interview where you'll learn and again, get a chance to hear a different and more detailed perspective on why students do Cutco Through College. Let me show you here a very, very important slide. This is the Cutco Through College track. So most students, this is a traditional Leadership Academy Cutco Through College track where this first summer for many of you, a student will sell and look to earn a spot into Leadership Academy. And then the second summer, those that perform at the highest level, the top 25% of our TLA, will get accepted and earn a branch position with the company where they'll run their own Cutco organization for the summer and learn how to build a business. And in some cases, the next summer, the third summer, they'll come back and do it again so they can learn, if you can see in the slide, how to grow a business versus just build a business. Or they come back the second summer after having run a branch office, or the third summer rather, they'll come back and instead of running an office to lead people, they'll want to explore, selling Cutco and managing clients and really focusing on massive income potential. All traditional tracks with us. And of course, the traditional end of the Cutco Through College track is that a student will end up a 5-star graduate. What that means is because of our experience, because of the management opportunities, the Cutco sales professional opportunities, the exposure to Leadership Academy, these students are getting the best and highest job offers within their major when they graduate. They're not scrounging to try and find job interviews. Companies, top companies in their majors are recruiting and working hard to have them come interview with them. And if you notice at the bottom of the slide, it says District Manager CSP. One of the things we found is that when a student really does cut through college with us the right way, they're financially independent, and I'll talk about saving $100,000 by the time they graduate. Their skills are at the highest level, their confidence and their resumes are at the highest level. So aside from other companies in their major wanting them, we also will be offering opportunities for those people, some career tracks with us, which in this case are District Manager and Cutco Sales Professional. Now, if you're watching this video as well and you're interviewing and you're not, a freshman in high school, a freshman in college or sophomore in college, and not just starting your collegiate career, like maybe you're a little bit more advanced, junior, senior, or maybe college isn't for you, and the type of career and passion that you have doesn't involve school formal education. Let me show you an accelerated track here. If this is someone who just started with us and is looking for something more career oriented, well, same process. They would have to earn a spot into Leadership Academy, but we do have accelerated programs where 1 year from now, someone who just started as a sales rep could be operating on a full-time district manager or a full-time Cutco sales professional basis, which are the two career positions that we have. I'll talk about in just a second. Bottom line, we really are looking for students to develop into that 5-star graduate. And now, speaking of Dan, who is the facilitator of that podcast through our company, one of the quotes I took and I was able to say, I believe through his Facebook, is this really, really, I think, great question to not justify, but really to explain why so many people love taking a Leadership Academy opportunity, why Cutco through college is such a great tool for people. And they think in the real world, when someone gets out of college, you see financial success is usually marked by the 6-figure income mark, meaning when someone makes 6 figures or above, they're doing fairly well for themselves or very well for themselves. And so the question that's posed here is, what's better, graduating and then working 30, 40, 50 plus years, that's typical corporate ladder increase, to finally make 6 figures, or working for 2 to 3 years plus, to gain skills through college, AKA Cutco through college, to help someone become more marketable and make more money in the future. And I think that question, when posed and really thought about, people are really excited to take that Cutco through college track. So one of the things I want to transition to now is those people that are accepted into a Leadership Academy also have a very unique opportunity because they are the front runners for our paid leadership positions for the following summer. And these are the 4 positions that would be available, meaning anyone accepted into Leadership Academy would not only be experiencing the growth and the skills and the lessons, but they would be our front runners competing for positions for the following summer. And that includes, sales leadership. Okay. Sales leadership. That means individuals who come back the next summer with their Leadership Academy skills and continue to sell at a high level, typically in the bonus levels. Okay. Number 2, assistant manager, which is where they would play a role supporting an office directly, whether it's a district or a branch office. Okay. And then the final thought are the 2, and really the highest 2 levels are branch manager and district manager. So let me explain the difference. So a branch manager, what is a branch manager? Branch manager is a 4-month entrepreneurial type internship where students are responsible for all operations of Cutco within a specific county or area. It's unbelievable experience. It gives the student a chance to run their own business, to run their own office and manage people. And specifically, how does a branch manager get started? Well, there's a difference between a startup and a franchise. A startup, a student a business person is going to have to find their own funding and money and figure everything out on their own. And the payoff is really high, but the risk is also really high. In a franchise, similar to like a McDonald's, let's say, or Chick-fil-A, well, the risk isn't as high because the programs are set, but the individual would have to come up with, $500,000 or $1 million+ to pay for the programs of the franchise. The direct to branch model is actually a great hybrid between, because the student will raise their own money for personal expenses, but the company will support through financial support. And in addition to that, all the programs are given to the student. So it's a great model for students as they're creating a low risk opportunity to learn how to develop a business and take those skills into their future. Now, as far as what a branch manager actually does, pretty straightforward. When they're assigned a territory, and these are for the top students who earn a branch manager position, they'll be responsible for recruiting, training, sales, development of the students, and sales leadership for an entire territory for an entire summer. Okay. It's unbelievable experience. It's unbelievable for a resume, and our students love, typically a branch manager student is doing so or doing that experience because eventually they want to run their own practice or their own type of company, or if they want to get into some type of science field, they want to be working in their own firm, if you will. The other opportunity is district manager. So oftentimes we hear, what's the difference between a branch manager and a district manager? Well, a district manager does the same things in a general sense. They're responsible for the same things: recruiting, sales, training, development, and sales leadership within a territory. Except, and as you can see on the slide here, this is more of a career position. So these are individuals where either school's not for them or they've graduated. And like an MBA, if you're familiar with a master's in business administration, most times those MBA programs will have the individual work for a company for a year or two to get real experience, but at the cost of $40,000, $70,000+ to be into that MBA program. So a lot of times our district managers or aspiring district managers really love the program because they're able to get the real life experience, run a business, but not have to pay $40,000 to $70,000 for an MBA. Also, we have individuals who really love the 5-star experience and love the personal growth. They don't quite know exactly what they want to do in the future, but in the meantime, this is a great, almost like holding pattern, if you will, where for 2 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years, someone will run a district office, save 6 figures plus in an effort to move on to the next part of their career. Now, those of you that have an interest in district manager, the 2 themes I would say is just managing teams and managing people. People who are excited about being a district manager are excited to mentor and manage teams and people. Attached to this link, we'll be putting the district manager opportunity packet for those of you that are either finishing up school, are looking towards creating an option in the future, or maybe school's not for you. Something to check out are the details. Very lucrative. Our average district managers making 6 figures plus. There's some cool perks, including high levels of traveling, our BMW program, just to name a few. Our Cutco sales professional is the other career position that we have. So district managers would be more towards management, but a Cutco sales professional would be an independent Cutco sales position. Think a professional salesperson. These individuals get involved in our fairs and show and our realtor opportunity programs. And rather than managing people and rather than mentoring people, a Cutco sales professional is really excited and focused on client management. So when I think about the 2, district manager, I think mentor and managing people. High income, high upside. When I think of Cutco sales professional, I think of managing clients and independent, flexible business. Also high income, high upside. And those are our 2 career positions. So as far as the process goes, to earn a position, pretty straightforward. Moving on after this video, there'll be a one-on-one interview opportunity for you. Again, there'll be a CPO minimum that someone will have to have in career sales to meet with me one-on-one. It will be a shorter interview, probably in the vicinity of 20 minutes. And then from there, the next part of the process would be to show and earn their spot through CPO. There'll be a divisional challenge period. It'll be like a 2-week period of similar to a push where we're looking for people to step up in their personal sales. We'll call it the Earn Your Spot divisional push or divisional challenge. And then our acceptances would happen at COC, our Conference of Champions. Again, to be determined, to be announced, all the details. It'll be in mid-August. Okay. Now, as far as time commitment, as far as what happens when someone's in Leadership Academy, I think the easiest way to explain it is based on credits. And it's very similar to taking a very easy 1 to 2 credit course. So there will be both monthly and weekly sessions that start in September. The weekly sessions are about 30 to 45 minutes in duration, typically. And that happens once a week. And what happens there is I will be teaching all the lessons, whether it's life. Typically, it's the life lessons that are being taught on the weekly sessions. And it's done as an entire division. It's a ton of fun each week, and it's typically buttoned up the same day as our team nights. So it's a lot easier just to do all the Cutco stuff at once. On the monthly sessions, which is once a month, we'll take a couple hours during the week, typically closer to the weekend, where I'll cover not just the personal lessons, but we also do a deep dive into the Cutco skills. the opportunities to increase the opportunity to increase skill set on how to do the Cutco job. And then, for example, if we're studying at that time monthly money management and long-term savings, let's say that's the lesson of the next 2 weeks. On the weekly session, we'll explain and cover some of the details, but on that monthly session once a month, we'll go a lot deeper into the topic. And our students find that tends to be one of the most fun parts of Leadership Academy. So again, about 1 to 2 credits, talk about 30 to 45 minutes weekly, and then for a couple hours once a month. Pretty straightforward. And one of the things I say to all of our applicants is that, making sure that there's a value in having options, meaning whether someone's all out, like excited to be a branch manager and run an office because they know how it'll help them, or someone is absolutely, the opposite end where they're not interested in running a branch, I would say just keep an open mind. There's value in having options. What we found is that the TLA process will typically help people figure out their track. What do I mean by that? Well, when someone's accepted to Leadership Academy, from September all the way until November, everyone is learning the same lessons, okay? We're second year and third year Leadership Academy are learning the higher elevated lessons. And then somewhere around November, we'll be able to see which students are on track to running a branch, which are on track to being an assistant, which are on track to being a full-time sales leader. And we would decide the following summer's position later during the winter break. So let's think of it as someone going into their first year of college, not having to declare a major right away. In fact, sometimes people will start school as a freshman and they want to be a doctor. By the time they finish, they've changed their mind and changed career paths. We have some individuals that start off wanting to be a lawyer right away and they're a lawyer. And sometimes it changes in between. And that's really what happens with Leadership Academy. We have people who are gung-ho branch that end up being an assistant. We have people that are gung-ho assistant that end up being our best branch managers. And again, the process of Leadership Academy and through the fall really helps figure that out, helps the student figure that out. Not to mention the fall selling opportunity where a student can work part-time, and I mean really part-time during the school year, but still make a tremendous income. So just through that whole process, again, our students are able to create options. So in wrapping up, I want to talk about what's next. What do I look for? What are the things that I'll be using to determine if someone's going to get accepted? Well, first of all, I would say overall commitment. Overall commitment. What's the attendance of the applicant to divisional events? Do I know them? Have I seen them? What's their participation? Are they following through on what they say they're going to do? Number 2 is my personal evaluation. What's my personal impression? Do I have a connection with that individual? Do I have frequent text updates? Is it someone who's been vocal in our divisional Zooms or meetings, visual rather? Also the local manager evaluation. What's the district or branch manager going to say, and how are they going to vouch for the student based on things like responsibility, accountability, commitment, work ethic? Also financial responsibility. And one of the things I'll say is that a Leadership Academy Cutco through college student, one of the top 3 goals for all of our students as they become a 5-star graduate is the opportunity and the goal of saving $100,000 before and becoming debt-free before they graduate. And part of that is because of the financial responsibilities we set up in Leadership Academy. What we do is we have a forced withholding program where we teach our students how to put money away on a weekly basis. And the reason we have that, we call it a commitment account, right? We call it a commitment account because we really, as a company, want to see, number 1, are these financial habits being shaped and molded, right? Are they able to utilize these very simple programs of putting away a certain percentage of income so that we know that they're becoming responsible with money? Part of it is because we want them to have 100 grand saved. Another part of it is we just want to know that they know how to utilize these very successful business wealth building strategies. Third reason is that for those individuals who rank in the higher levels of Leadership Academy, those individuals who compete for branch positions, the company is going to offer thousands of dollars worth of support to the student. And what the company also wants to see is that a student who's going to be offered thousands of dollars worth of support, we would want to know that they're able to save money. So that commitment account allows students to show that they're committed to their personal savings, they're committed to their wealth building, they're doing smart business practices, and in the event that they're on track for management, the company feels confident in offering them thousands of dollars worth of support for their Cutco branch or their Cutco district opportunity. What's great about the account is that the students can see it visibly on their account every single week. And in the event that a student would need that money, they just click a text message or an email to me and it's released within 24 hours. Okay. And then last but not least, our summer CPO statements. I certainly do look at career sales, obviously, to get the interview, and the higher the career sales, the better. And I certainly look at past performances, division meeting pushes, SC1, this past SC2. But the thing that I look at the most really is consistency and finish to August. Consistency and finish to August, because as a manager, as a leader, as a sales leader, a district manager, branch manager, as a Cutco sales professional, regardless of whatever the position is for next summer and beyond, our best leaders are the most consistent and they finish the campaign strong. So that's what we're looking for. I would rather have someone who's been consistent the whole summer than someone who's sold a lot up until SC2 push and pooped out. I would rather have someone who maybe didn't have the biggest sales up until this point, barely got their one-on-one interview, but had an explosive finish before the school semester started. Those are the types of things that I'm looking for, to be able to manage around all those things. So wrapping up here, I want to talk about the assignments. Number one, get added to the Leadership Academy WhatsApp group. This is formerly known as the Garner group for the SC2 push. It is now going to turn into the TLA candidate group. Number two, get on my radar. And those of you that know that, it's doing the job or higher. So make sure you're texting me updates, keep me updated on your progress. Number three, sign up for the Conference of Champions, our next event, so that obviously you can find out if you get accepted. Not to mention, this is my plug, that's going to be an unbelievable event to help us transition into the school year. And of course, we have our Leadership Academy acceptances. And then finally, CPO talk. So have a strong finish to the campaign. And those of you that are interested, make sure you reach out to your manager about the minimum CPO requirements, and you can earn yourself a one-on-one interview. So at this point, whether you watch this together with several team members, with your management staff, or you're watching this on your own, I just want to say good luck. Keep in mind, again, friendly reminder, the next step would be to meet with me one-on-one for a final interview. I'll be referencing a lot of things from this video. So you're going to want to, if you need to go back a few times, you're going to want to be able to reference and explain Leadership Academy. If I ask you about a certain position, I'm going to ask you what that entails. I'm going to ask you what I'm looking for, just to make sure that we're on the same page. So I wish all of you luck on your pursuit of Leadership Academy. I'm looking forward to seeing those of you that get accepted, and have an outstanding rest of your push week as we move into final interviews. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.